What is up, YouTube family? It is Andrea here at VW Family Farm. If you are new here and this is the first video of ours you are seeing, welcome. If you've been around a while, welcome back to you. Today we are going to talk about Haas garden plows. So whether you are a beginner gardener or you've been gardening your whole life, something we would all agree on is that gardening can get very expensive. It doesn't have to, but it can quickly add up. If you look around at other gardeners and decide you have to have all the things, all the best, you have to have tillers and the latest cultivating tools and hand tools and all the seeds, and the list goes on and on and on and on, and you have to have more and more beds and all those things, it can quickly add up and get overwhelming financially. And these days, even there's such awesome new technology even in the gardening world. There's ground cover, there's frost blankets and row cover and insect netting and hoops to go under those and hoop houses and caterpillar tunnels, and it just goes on and on. And sometimes you start to think, is this even worth it when I can get a whole bag of onions for just a few bucks? Well, first off, let me tell you that yes, it is definitely worth it. There's so many benefits to your health to growing your own food. Not just the food you're putting in your body, but the work it takes you to get that food grown is good for your body and your mind and your soul. Getting out, getting your hands in the dirt, being in the fresh air is all wonderful for you. But we are going to talk about ways to cultivate your ground today. So these days, raised beds are all the rage, and that's awesome. But raised beds even get weeds in them. And there are lots of things that you may not want to grow in a raised bed. You may want a large patch of potatoes or corn or things that are going to be more suited to be grown in the ground. Or even your raised beds, maybe they're not super raised off the ground and they're just raised a little bit, and you can still get some kind of cultivating tool in there. Then this video is for you. So anyone that is growing a garden is from time to time going to deal with weeds. So you're gonna have to decide how you're gonna deal with those weeds when they come. Are you gonna use a hand tool like a hoe? Are you gonna use a miniature version of this that you go between the plants? All those things will work, but is that the best way to get rid of weeds? Or are you gonna go all out and buy a tiller that after quite a few years of gardening, you're gonna have several of these sitting around that bit the dust and now you've got a tiller graveyard? And while we still have a use for a lot of those things here in our gardens, we also have found a better, less expensive way. And that brings me to these two bad boys. Well, three, I should say. We have here the double wheel hoe and the high arch wheel hoe. So these are from Haas Tools, and we've used several products from them and we have not been disappointed. We've actually had these for a while and I've been thinking about making a video for y'all, but I really wanted to make sure we were gonna use them and sure of their quality before I suggested them to y'all. Now, these are actually each a several $100 investment, but they're nothing compared to a tiller, and there's no tires to go flat, which the tiller I use, the tire is flat every single time I fight that tire. There's none of that with this. There's no gas to buy, nothing like that. They're ready to go all the time. There is all sorts of attachments from these to plows where you can make a furrow, you can hill dirt like up on potatoes, you can throw it back on your potatoes to keep putting dirt on top of them. You can throw dirt on rows of corn to keep them more sturdy and more strength in wind. There's also oscillating hoes where you can hoe forwards and backwards. There's different lengths of these, and there's all kinds of different attachments for the individual hoes, some of which are compatible with all, some of which are unique to the certain one you get, because there's a single wheel for a first time small gardener, there's the double wheel which I showed you, and there's the high arch hoe. And the last attachment I want to show you, I want to actually show you what we're going to do with it. All right, so this is the double wheel hoe, and these are called cultivator teeth. I'm actually going to use this to weed my rows, my walkways actually in my garden. And you can see I have one shifted forward and two further back. This actually, you can put 5 of these on here. I could put another one on each side, but I'm gonna go with 3. Travis at Haas Tools, I've watched some videos and that's his recommendation. This one hits the ground first and will start breaking that soil up and busting you a way through, and then these will clean up the mess. All right, so you can see this is the high arch wheel hoe, and basically the point of this one, this area here is for a plant. So you can go over top your rows. You can see we have rigged up cultivator teeth right behind the wheel and a little bit to the outside of the wheel. There's nothing in the middle. That way the plant is gonna go through there and you can cultivate right up next to your plants and get rid of that grass. And actually you can throw some dirt back on your plants to kind of smother out some of that grass that's between your little plants.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Guys, we worked really hard and got this garden looking better, and it really didn't take us too awfully long. We worked together and got it done. Putting that plow a little further forward than the other two in the back on the double wheel hoe, like I showed you all ago, made a world of difference. We had them straight across the back before, and it just felt like you were plugging through dirt, and it was tough, but this was so much better. And another thing, partway through working, we stopped and adjusted the height of the handles shorter for me because the boys had them higher. That made a big difference as well. So just every little thing we get to know about these tools makes them easier to use. These have improved so very much since push plows back in the old days. We actually have one of those that we've used in recent years that now is leaned up for decoration because these are the new and improved models, so much more user friendly. So I've been wanting to make this video for you guys for a while because some of you may be looking for an option to work your soil that doesn't involve gas and tires and all the things. A lot of you are first-time gardeners that are growing your very first garden, and you've got it planted, and now lo and behold you have weeds and grass, and you're thinking, what in the world am I going to do about it? And these are a much more affordable option. Not to mention, I don't know all there is to know about mechanics and fixing things that are broke. You saw the tiller graveyard. I'm sure if Ben had all the time that he wanted, he could get those fixed, but he doesn't, and I don't know how. So these are something I can operate and not have to bother him to fix the other ones. So I hope that helps y'all. There's a link to Haas below. If you decide to buy something and click that link, it doesn't cost you 1 cent more. It just helps our channel out and lets them know that you heard about them through us. If you do decide to buy something from them and you put in the code VWFF seed at checkout, SEED, like garden seeds, you will get a free pack of seeds. Again, that's VWFF seed, and you will get a free pack of our favorite tomato seeds, Cherokee Purples. Hope this video helped you out, and if you have one of those, that helps you know a little bit better how to use it. And I hope if you don't and you think you're interested in one, that you get yourself one. I'll see you guys later, and God bless.